Today we're talking about how to stay in high vibrational alignment as per your request from the Instagram stories poll I put up yesterday, which I'm super excited about. But before we get into that, I want to share with you that these first episodes of the Soul-Led Millionaire are actually episodes that I recorded in a previous podcast that I used to have back in 2019. And the reason that I want to include these episodes in this show is because I think it's such a great way to see someone's journey, to see their progress, to see how far they've come. I know I always love seeing someone else's experience and the obstacles they've overcome, as well as what they've learned, as well as how they've evolved over time. So I think it's a great way to bring this to you, to show you where I was at only those few years ago, and to see how far I've come since then. As well as the fact that these episodes were great when I recorded them, and they're very dear to me. So I figured, why waste them? Why not let you have these episodes as well? So I hope you enjoy this episode. And if you do, please come over and leave a review for the show, and let me know on Instagram what you thought of it. Now, without further ado, let's get into the episode. So high vibe alignment is that magical place where our thoughts and our feelings and our outer world are all congruent. Everything is aligned, everything is working in harmony, and from there, everything is high quality. Your life is high quality. You're manifesting the things that you want with ease. You're not even trying to manifest. It's just, this is your reality now. Your thoughts are super high quality and your emotional states are predominantly positive rather than negative. It is a habit to bounce back to thinking more positive thoughts. That is your default state. You don't really waver from there. And even if you do, even if you have days where you're feeling crappy or low vibe, you bounce back. Your bounce back point is a higher vibe state, a higher vibe emotional state. So getting into high vibe isn't actually as difficult as you may think, but it does take time to learn and to become a habit, just like anything that you're trying to learn, whether you're trying to learn how to ride a bike or how to ice skate or how to grow a booty in a gym. Just like learning anything else, this is no different. It takes time. And that's where most people give up because they realize, oh, you can't do it overnight. You can have little shifts overnight. It's just like going to the gym every single day. If you go once, you're not going to become a marathon runner or a bodybuilder overnight. But if you go 30 days in a row and you work out for 30 days in a row, just incrementally each day, stacking those workouts on top of each other, you are obviously going to have huge results in just 30 days. So it's the same thing, okay? So don't be one of those people who give up just because you can't get there quickly. Because here's the truth. Most of us are reacting to our environments. We're reacting to people. We're reacting to situations. We're reacting to events, to things. We are very rarely deliberately choosing in every single moment how we want to think, how we want to feel, and how we want to respond. We are actually reacting automatically based on habits we've acquired over the years. And if we're being really honest with ourselves, a lot of those automatic habits don't serve us at all. And a lot of the time, those habits are completely out of alignment with who we really are, with who we truly are and who we really want to be. So that's where the problem lies, right? That's where the conflict is, where the butting of heads is, because you're not actually living in congruence with that high vibe person that you are. But when we start talking about that and living in congruence and high vibe and alignment, it's like, whoa, what? Like, what even is that? How do you do that? How do you change it when this is how it's always been? Or you haven't seen another way, or you don't know another way? How do you actually change that and get into congruence and into alignment? Are they different things or are they the same things? This is where a lot of people come in and say, you just need to get happy and everything will manifest. Even I say that as well, but that would be what you have to do in a nutshell. If we were to really, really water down exactly what you need to do, it's get happy. But when I say get happy, I'm not just saying just magically get happy. I'm saying it based on different actions, different things that you have to do and work on and learn and change to get happy. So what a lot of people will tell you to do is watch TV shows that make you happy, listen to music that makes you feel a certain way, visualize, go to dance classes, start a pottery class, go out with your friends, hang out with your friends, do whatever you need to do that makes you feel happy, that makes you feel good. And I 100% agree with that. Do those things. Everything helps. If you were to look at those actions that make you feel happy, it's the same as manifesting tools. Create a manifestation toolbox and pick what things work for you best in trying to manifest what you want. So maybe visualizing is your jam. You can manifest really well if you visualize, or if you do scripting, or if you do meditating, whatever it is, that's your toolbox tool and you use that. It's the same with getting happy. So maybe watching TV just really doesn't turn you on, but maybe going for walks in nature, or walking on the beach, or hanging out with your friends, maybe that really makes you happy. That's what you need to do all the time anyway. That's what I call vibrational maintenance, right? If you want to stay happy, you've got to do things that keep you maintaining that happy streak. But then there's the deeper inner work that you need to do. And the way that you do that, it requires your default state to be congruent with every single area of your life. Now, there is a really awesome piece written by Steve Pavlina that I want to share with you on congruence and what it means to truly be congruent and living in alignment, because I think you're going to get a lot out of this, and it's going to help with understanding the deeper part of being able to stay in high vibe alignment. Because I'm someone who believes that in order to really master something, in order to get really good at it, I need to understand the deeper parts of it. I don't know if you're like that. If you're not, and you can totally do the surface stuff and it gets you there, then just do the first part of what I talked about. Watch TV shows or listen to music. But if you're like me and you need to know the meatiness, get deeper and understand it better, listen to this article that I'm about to read to you from Steve Pavlina. When you view your life as a series of different compartments, each with different rules, life gets pretty complicated. Trying to achieve balance is very difficult because you constantly feel the need to task switch. My relationship needs attention. Oh no, I've been neglecting my health. I need to work harder, and I've got to stop thinking so much and take more action. The different bins of your life are fighting for your time, and the longer you neglect one of those bins, the louder it gets and the harder it will fight for your attention. Put off your health for too long and you'll crash with an illness. Put off your relationship too long and a breakup may be the result. Put off your work and your career and your income will suffer. This is a paradigm that many people share. Keep all your balls in the air, keep all those plates spinning, don't let your spiritual beliefs interfere with your work. But I think it's a broken paradigm. Let's consider a different way of thinking. What if your life had only one bin, one ball to juggle, one plate to spin, just one? No need to deal with 10 different areas of your life and keep them all balanced, just one. How is this possible? Well, it's possible if all of those different areas of your life are congruent, if they all follow the same rules. Then thought and action are one, both pointing in the same direction. They're on the same path. Your work is congruent with your most deeply held spiritual beliefs. You don't have to take your spirituality offline when you work. Improving your health improves your relationship. Increasing your income increases your service. This means moving from a paradigm of the different parts of your life being in conflict to a new paradigm where they all cooperate. Instead of seeing each part of your life as independent, you begin to see them as interdependent. And isn't this a more accurate model anyway? Can you truly isolate each part of your life as something separate? Can you abuse your health and think it won't affect your career or relationships? Do you think your feelings about your relationship won't affect your financial situation? Can you ignore your spiritual beliefs when making business decisions and expect no negative consequences? It seems obvious that all the different parts of your life are deeply interconnected, but a common way to treat problems is to try and isolate them. If there's a problem with your health, you need to diet and exercise. If there's a problem in your career, it's time to work harder. But this isolation protocol doesn't work well because there's too much overlap between all the different parts of your life, no matter how much you try to isolate the problem areas and go to work on them. It's often the case that the obvious cause of the problem isn't the true source. If you feel lonely because you haven't been able to find the right relationship, you keep trying harder and harder to find a relationship. You may get nowhere. The problem may be that you work at a career you aren't passionate about, and you project this lack of passion to everyone you meet. And still, a deeper issue may be that your spiritual beliefs tell you that service to others is very, very important, but you don't feel that you're doing that. Then you change careers and you start doing what you love, and it aligns with your spiritual beliefs because now you feel like you're contributing and serving. Then out of nowhere, you meet your future spouse who is attracted to your passion about your work and the contribution you're making. And the encouragement you experience from this relationship in turn helps you advance your career, increase your income, and free up more time to spend with your spouse. Your stress goes down and your health improves too. Your inner spiritual conflict was the real source of your inability to find the right relationship. Everything is deeply interconnected. Although it seems that each part of your life follows different rules, they all follow the same rules. You may have different values for each part of your life, but the rules that govern those areas don't change. An example of an unchanging rule is kindness. The concept of kindness should resonate with your spiritual beliefs. You can be kind to your body, and your health will improve. You can be kind to your coworkers, and your relationships with them will improve. You can be kind to your spouse, and your marriage will grow stronger. You can be kind to a stranger, and your self-esteem will increase. It doesn't matter to which area of your life you apply the principle of kindness, its application is universal. If you violate a universal principle, however, it negatively impacts all areas of your life. If you follow a universal principle, it positively impacts all areas of your life. Universal principles don't compartmentalize. So the key then is figuring out these universal principles and aligning your thoughts and actions with them. This is how you achieve congruence between all the different parts of your life. So, what are the universal principles? Well, Stephen Covey claims that the 7 habits of highly effective people are based on universal principles. And that's a good place to start. Of all these principles, they can be reduced to just one, I believe, and that is to love. Not the passive, squishy, emotional feeling of love, but to love, the action verb. To love your body translates into proper diet and exercise. To love your mind equates with learning. To love others is service. To love your work is to do it passionately and enthusiastically. To love your feelings means to respect and honor the messages they send you. This verb translates into different specific actions for each area, but the underlying principle is the same. Depending on the situation, to love may mean to listen, to serve, to work, to relax, to touch, and so on. And when you start injecting the universal principles into every area of your life, alignment occurs. The parts of your life will be transformed such that all these different pieces assemble themselves into one congruent whole. You won't feel like these different parts of your life are in competition for your time and attention. Instead, you'll feel a sense of internal cooperation. You will have a sense that exercising your body is the best thing for your health and your relationship and your career and your spirituality. This is true high vibrational alignment. Within each area, you'll adapt your current circumstances to align with universal principles. Or you'll let go of all the misaligned pieces and start fresh. So your career may shift slightly as you adapt, or you may switch to a whole new career. Your old relationships may transform, or they may end while you seek out new ones. It just depends on how well the external parts of your life are able to align with who you are. Alignment comes down to working on these 4 questions until they all produce the same answer. And that is question number 1, what do you want to do? Question number 2, what can you do? Question number 3, what should you do? Question number 4, what must you do? When these 4 areas are aligned, motivation occurs automatically. Thought and action are automatically balanced because you are living your purpose consciously. You won't feel like you should be thinking when you're acting, or acting when you're thinking. The line between thought and action will disappear. Being and doing will become the same thing. When you experience misalignment between these 4 areas, the natural tendency is to slow down. sometimes to a crawl. You'll feel like you have all these ideas pulling you in different directions, but you aren't fully satisfying any of them. Your mind knows that continuing to work hard is likely to be futile and won't solve the real problem of incongruence. It knows it's time for you to stop, ask directions, and choose the path of alignment. When you live congruently, a quantum leap will occur in each of these 4 areas. Desire becomes passion, purpose becomes mission, need becomes abundance, ability becomes talent, and it becomes almost ridiculously easy to achieve fulfillment in every area then because all of the parts are working together in the same direction. So, what do you think of that? How do you feel about that? When we're talking about high vibrational alignment, it isn't this surface thing that we can do if we truly want to master it. If we truly want to live in alignment with who we really are, it is about actually getting everything in our life aligned to who we are. It's not just thinking it, it's actually taking the actions. So I would recommend you to go back to those 4 questions and ask yourself each one and what you truly want. And like Steve said, they all need to become the same answer. Until they do, you're not truly living in congruence. But in saying that, that doesn't mean you can't live in alignment now. You can't start working on your vibrational alignment now. You absolutely can. The best way to do it is do the things that make you feel good, like the suggestions I gave you at the start of this episode. And do those things often, every day, because the more that you're doing them, the more that you're elevating your vibration incrementally, but surely it's slowly raising. And maybe you need to do that in order to understand what you really want, in order to actually have those 4 questions and their answers line up with each other. Look at your past and look for the things and the feelings and the events and the situations that got you into feeling high vibe. You'll have them. You haven't spent your entire life just being miserable. There will be moments where there were some really amazing high vibe times. Think about how you got there. What was the process? What was the thing that happened? And see if you can replicate that in your day to day. It's all contributing to you living a congruent, high vibrational life. Hey, it's Elise again. Thank you so much for listening to this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got a lot out of it. And if you did, I would love for you to share your review of this episode on iTunes. I want this podcast to get out to as many people as possible to help them become soul-led millionaires. So if you could do that, if you love the show and you want to share the love, please make sure you leave a review. If you would like more goodies, if you just can't get enough and you want to learn even more, I have a free 3-day workshop on how to manifest $1,000 or more in 30 days that I would love for you to take. All the details of that are in the show notes below. Otherwise, if you just want to say hi, come over to Instagram at Elise McDowell. Thank you once again for listening to this episode. I will see you again soon.